travel with these gigantic, hairy, obnoxious, smelly men, and it's just absurd. I can't even believe I'm talking about it. It's embarrassing.
So we've kind of dabbled along the way in what some people refer to as country soul, I guess, the southern soul music of that era. Bobby Womack would be another big influence. And then we got to do the record with Booker T, and who of course would be one of the architects of that style of music. And so it's something we've always kind of wanted to do, is do a record that went much deeper into that than any of ours before. And so Go-Go Boots is that record.
I'm an incredibly emotional person. I play by feel. I sing. I don't have perfect pitch by any means, nowhere near, but I try to put my heart into it, and I play that way too. Technically, there are tons of better players out there than me, but I play by heart and by feel. And I don't know, sweet soul music is, you can feel it, That's why I wanted to play the bass too, is because you could feel it, literally. When you turn it up, you can feel that bass, and it drew my attention early on as a kid. And I don't know, it has to come from your soul, and that's my thing.
No, we don't really like to spend a lot of time on the song. If it ends up that way, it's very rare that we do that. It's mostly somebody will have a song, they'll play through it for us, and then while we're getting the sounds for that song, as far as drums or ever how Barbie's setting up the room for the recording, we'll learn the song. And then Barbie's done, and he'll start taping, and then usually by the first, second, or third take, we'll nail it, and then the speed might speed up or slow down or whatever like that, but it's usually the vibe of the song. If I wanted to be anal and just go, no, it needs to be like that, but it's all about the song. You just want it to flow right, and I think pushing and pulling is appropriate in a lot of songs.
There is, in the greatest country music, and obviously soul music by virtue of its name, it's all about conveyance of emotional impact, and that certainly is the case here, I think. But yeah, it's as good a name as any for it, I suppose.
There ain't no click tracks or anything like that on any of our records.
Cooley, he's not Burger King. It's not like do it to order. He's not a craftsman who you call up and ask him to crank out a song and he does it. He's writing fits of inspiration.
Like once I said they could not pay me to come to one of these damn festivals. Then they told me how much they'd pay me. And I stood corrected. I remember once saying, if this ever starts feeling like a job, I'm quitting. I'm not doing it anymore. Bullshit. I was young when I said that. Idealistic when I said that. But the highs are pretty much doing what you do. Doing what you get to do. But it's, everything's going to become your job at some point. If you live long enough and you do it long enough, and you're not going to love it all the time, no matter how much you love the idea of it or love it on the surface. And plenty of people love what they do, but have a hard time sometimes doing the work of it, the job of it. And for us, it's no different,
It's a little like the Supreme Court definition of pornography. You know it when you see it, but I can't really put my finger on it. Big To Do obviously is a more forward, more upbeat rock record, and maybe not necessarily so upbeat thematically, but upbeat musically. Big To Do, Go-Go Boots is just a little more stretched out, a little weirder, a little more warped. Sonically, it's a little more open, it's a little looser and dirtier, and it's just got that Chase Park goop all over it that I like so much.
Yeah. Great quote. I think it was Smokey Robinson said, "You didn't start this and you ain't gonna end it." And that's pretty much where we fall into the grand scheme of things, I think. This is the museum piece of the Scott Baxendale drive-by trucker line. Yeah, we were talking. I was always planning to get Scott to custom build an acoustic for me, a really nice full-body acoustic guitar. And at one point, I said, I'd like to. We were talking about these different designs, how to make it look, and so I wouldn't mind incorporating some of our album cover art into it.
Yeah, the first time I met Wes and Jill was when I first joined the band, and they took me up to Virginia, and that was the craziest looking house I've ever been into.
We walked in the door, and their house was like a haunted house, like the Addams Family house or something anyway, in this kind of suburban neighborhood on the outskirts of Richmond. And all of a sudden there's this one house and the grass has grown up high, and they've got a well in the front yard with this like skeleton crawling out of it, and there's tombstones with names of all of Wes's favorite dead country artists.
It speaks for itself. It's great stuff. Wes is an individual.
Floor to ceiling filled with Wes's artwork. And Cooley and I, we were already writing songs for what became Southern Rock Opera at that time. And so when we walked in the door, Cooley and I immediately looked at each other, and it's like, wow, Wes Freed has got to illustrate the Southern Rock Opera when we do it. And so sure enough, a few years later, when we actually made that album, Wes did the artwork for it and has been our artist ever since.
And it just caught on, and it was just like the two fit, just the kind of music we make and the way that he paints is just it's like different worlds. He has his Willard Garage image in his head of it's this fictional place that it's in his head.
Scott just builds great stuff. Wes creates great images, and getting the two of them together to bring something into reality was a beautiful thing to watch.
They're like family, especially with the band. It's just like they're part of the band. We record the music, and it goes to them, and Wes draws it up.
He produces for us alone in a year's time just an expansive body of work, and that's just sometimes on tour posters alone. And then if we make a record that year, all that too. I mean, more amazing work than a lot of creative people do in a lifetime, and it's just one after the other. It's just being on the road and seeing the posters come in every day for the shows just blows my mind, because it's not just a poster, it's like a beautiful piece of work. It's really detailed, intricate. I don't know how he does it. Oh yeah, and this was not my idea, but I love it. Check this out. I mean, why not? You've come this far.
She was fresh out of college, first one in her family to go. And California seemed like heaven. Pulaski, Tennessee was her home. She worked on losing her southern accent, turned her back on her Baptist ways. She bought some clothes that barely covered her fair skinned body. Went to Nashville and caught a plane. Well, the clouds that rushed beneath her as the LA smog filled the